All right, so I'm going to show you how to post stuff on MarketScale.com. Should be pretty straightforward. This is an example of a client podcast that needs to get posted. So this is the information that you're going to get right here on the screen here in the post task. So this will get assigned to you, post task, pretty straightforward. You'll have this information right here. So the first thing that you get is the industry or WordPress category for the post on MarketScale. So on marketscale.com on the WordPress on the back end, you'll come here, you'll say add a new post. And one of the first things that you want to do is check the industry that this particular post is going to go in. That is over here under categories. And so we obviously cover a lot of industries here at marketscale.com. So we want to make sure that we're putting this in the right industry vertical. So first things first, we want to come here. So for this particular podcast, it says transportation and science. Okay, easy enough. We'll scroll all the way down here to where we find transportation and science. We have a ton of stuff in here. So transportation, this is a podcast, so it's going to go under the podcast category. And then he also said science. And so sciences and podcasts, just like that. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple, right? There might be other industries checked here from time to time. You just want to make sure that you put that in the right category on MarketScale. That's pretty easy. So the other thing is MarketScale show page WordPress category. So this also has to go underneath a specific client's podcast show, and so that's what that is indicating. So this one is called Getting Technetical with Technetics. As you see right here, Getting Technetical. So we're going to go up in here and find where Getting Technetical is. And it is right here. So we want to check that as well. That makes sure it gets filed underneath the correct show on our WordPress site as well. So that is what we need to do there first and foremost. Okay, so that part is done. Next thing, channel name in Wistia is Getting Technetical. Okay, that's good to know. So we're going to come here to Wistia and we're going to search for Getting Technetical. You'll see I kind of already started and you will click here. So this is where the episode needs to get uploaded here like this, right? When it comes time to upload audio and video and all of that sort of stuff, you are going to come here to this box folder. The box link has to be included here. And that is where you're going to find all of the elements that need to go with the post on marketscale.com. So pretty simple, pretty easy, but this is the kind of stuff that you're going to need. You need a graphic. You need the write-up, you need the video, audio, all that sort of stuff. So you'll notice here that this particular episode is already uploaded to Wistia. Pretty neat. But so you'll you'll upload that audio. It's really easy. You just download it and then drag and drop it there. So if I were to do that again, let's just do it just for the fun of it. So I'm going to download this particular video here. I don't know why I have this folder open twice, but I do. So you just download this to your downloads folder. Oh, that's going to take some time. Okay, never mind. I will not download all of this, but pretty self-explanatory. You download it, you drag and drop it here. The next thing you're going to want to do is customize it. And so you want to make the graphic that we have here, this kind of larger rectangular graphic that you see. You're going to want to download this and make it the thumbnail of the video. So you do that here in Wistia by coming here and uploading an image as the thumbnail. So upload a new image. And again, you're just going to download that graphic and upload it as an image here to Wistia. Again, pretty easy to do, but yeah, just another step in the process, I suppose. So, okay, so we did that. Next thing is the copy, right? So this is what's going to be seen on Apple, Spotify, wherever the podcast gets sent out to. And so again, that is here in this box folder. You have the copy here. So you just want to make sure to find the latest one. And so you're just going to copy and paste that write-up into this right here under the notes section. In the summary, you might not always get a summary in the write-up. So you might just type just like a quick one sentence, 1 or 2 sentence summary here, just to give the audience, again, like it says, a brief overview of what this episode is about, just a short summary that is easy for everyone to get and understand. And of course, paste the title in here that, again, you have in the write-up. And since you've done a lot of these write-ups and you kind of know what that looks like at MarketScale, you kind of already understand that aspect of things. So once that's all done, you can post this. So save and update, and apply updates to publish episode, that sort of thing. So you just want to make sure that you publish this here um, on Wistia. Then from there, once you have it posted, you can take the embed code. We copy the code, and this is where we begin kind of the post process of all of these elements on marketscale.com. So remember, you checked all of this over here earlier. Now it's time to actually post this. So in WordPress. So you have your embed code. So you come to embed, you want to copy the code. You want to make sure you're on inline, copy the code, and then you're going to come and under the text tab right here, visual is going to show you, kind of give you a representation of what this is going to look like once it's actually on the website. But when you're pasting in embed codes and code in general, you need to be on the text tab. So this is where we're going to paste our embed code right here. So there we go. That is done. Then we need to come back over to our write-up. I need to probably download and open this so I can copy and paste stuff from it a little bit easier. But okay, so we're going to open this up. This is where you're obviously going to paste the write-up and that sort of thing. So here is our text, opening slower than I wish it would. All right, we're going to copy that and drop that text in here. We obviously want to format it so that it looks relatively nice, right? So this is kind of how we want it to look on MarketScale. Let's see here. Now we need to go and grab the title, make sure that is up there. You should have a WordPress title. We'll copy this. Go back up to the top of our page where we have the title. There we go. Now that is in there. For the featured image, we want to make sure to use this graphic that we have, the lovely graphic from earlier that we downloaded to make as the thumbnail for the video. So again, we would come here and download this, which you would have done already anyways, but we'll just do it again. Featured image. There we go. Also going to stop this download. Cancel. All right, so here's your featured image. Everyone feels good about that. We like that very much. All right. So we have our copy, we have our title, we have our featured image, we have our video. Everything is kind of getting put in place. There's a couple of other things like metadata that we need to make sure get in there that you'll kind of remember from doing these sorts of write-ups. So we'll come here and once again, you kind of have like your keywords and that sort of thing. The subtitle, of course, goes down at the bottom. We need to do a little bit of SEO stuff for the website. It's something that we haven't been doing, but we really need to do a better job of it. So here, let's always just make sure to change the slug to something that is in the title. So flying in green skies. And then here is our meta description. Jason Riggs discusses the aviation industry's strategies for reaching zero emissions through a mix of sustainable aviation fuels and hydrogen. You'll notice that we have exceeded the character limit, and so we might come through and just, aha, very nice. Now we are right up against that character limit. Great. Now we need a focus key phrase, which is normally just one word for the most part. That's the best way to get some good SEO stuff in there. And so it generally needs to be something that is in the title and is also in the meta description, that sort of thing. In this case, we don't have a whole lot of overlapping words, and so I might just say like emissions or something like that. It's going to tell us how happy or sad SEO is with us. I wouldn't worry too much about spending a ton of time on this, but you'll notice we also don't have any outbound links in the write-up. We want to go ahead and make sure that that we add in some of those. So like company names, yeah, let's drop in Technetics here. This is kind of a whole reason why a company like Technetics would do podcasts with us in the first place is, they want to get the exposure. They want to have their name on our website, and they want people to, to go back to their site and be like, oh, hey, let's click on Technetics. If there's a name of a guest and you can find them on LinkedIn, you obviously want to make sure that it's the right person before you link to them. But if you can find their LinkedIn or something like that, always good to try to link that as well. In this case, I'm probably connected with Jason Riggs. Yeah, because I've interviewed him a number of times at this point. But you want to make sure to include something like that as well if we can. And any other links. It normally wants a link, an internal link as well. The SEO does. It's not always relevant. And again, this is kind of more for the client than it is for us. So at this point, I know we have a couple of red items and some orange items, and the SEO is generally kind of half happy with us. At this point, I feel pretty good about things, and so we have our links in here. We have our items. We have our title, all of that sort of thing. We'll just do a quick preview just to make sure it looks how we want it to look. I think this looks pretty nice. So at this point, we should be pretty good to go. And so we would come here and say publish. And there we go. Now we are on MarketScale.com. So again, I'll probably just click the link again one last time just to make sure that, hey, does this all look good? Does this all sound good? How do we feel about what we have here? Again, everything here looks pretty good to me. So there we go. At that point, you've accomplished everything that is here in the post task. You're good to mark this as complete. And I would also probably just drop in the link to the finished product there in that post task as well, just for some visibility for the digital marketing strategist or digital media strategist who asked us to post this. This will just let them know, like, hey, this is done. You can share this back with the client now. So that is posting from beginning to end. I'm sure there will be questions or things I didn't cover or things I said that were incorrect or whatever. So if you have questions, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. But that should be a pretty good starting point. And I'm sure you'll find quicker, better ways to do a lot of these things as well as you get more efficient. So let me know if you have any questions, but hopefully that helps get you started.